Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, another day, another purse bid lost by Eddie Hearn at the hands of Frank Warren. That is correct. Frank Warren has won the purse bids for Demetrius Andrade versus Zach Parker. Now this fight, if it takes place, will be for the WBO interim title at super middleweight. Of course, Andrade was world champion at 160. He was full WBO champion. It's looking like he's moving up now. So naturally, he's got a high ranking at 168 within the WBO, and he's entitled to a shot at the interim title. But nevertheless, Frank Warren, he won the purse bid. Frank Warren's bid was $1,834,000, whereas Eddie Hearn bid $1,750,000. So, you know, Frank's more or less beat him by just over $80,000. So yeah, I mean, another day, like I said, Eddie Hearn loses another purse bid. I know this isn't a massive fight, but in regards to Frank Warren and BT, this is a pretty solid fight. To add to their schedule, of course, they already have Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, a big pay-per-view fight, and now this fight is looking likely. Target date is the 21st of May in the UK, and I'm assuming that this fight is going to take place in the Midlands. Of course, you know, Zach Parker is from Derby. He actually sells quite a lot of tickets, in particular to Derby County football fans. So if they manage to book an arena in that local area, I think this fight will actually do quite well in regards to tickets being sold. I believe it will do pretty well at the gate. I can't see this fight being put on pay-per-view. I've heard a couple of people speculating about that. You know, Zach Parker, he's got fans in Derby, but nobody really knows him in the UK as a whole. So I can't see this fight being on pay-per-view. But what it is, it would be a very interesting fight on regular BT. Now, you know, I've never really been the biggest fan of Andrade. I used to rate him quite a few years ago when he was coming up, and even when he was champion at 154. I was expecting big things from him, but, you know, his middleweight reign was pretty uninspiring, quite frankly, and I don't really see any improvements from Andrade since he's been in the middleweight division. To me, he's kind of stuck around at the same level. He's not fought a high level of competition, so potentially we've seen the best of Andrade already. I certainly can't see this guy getting any better. And yeah, I just see Andrade, and I think the last few years have been wasted for whatever reason. But, you know, this is a fight which I do have some interest in, I can't lie. I would still make Andrade a favourite in this fight. I know he's coming up in weight, but as far as I'm concerned, he is more experienced. He has fought better competition. And in my opinion, I just think he's a better fighter than Zach Parker. But, you know, Zach Parker, he's an unknown commodity. We don't really know how good this guy is, Zach Parker. He can hit pretty hard. He's got pretty respectable timing, a solid set of fundamentals. He does the basics well. Nice jab, nice straight punches. He can counter, etc. He does the basics well, but can he land on Andrade? Can he hurt Andrade? We shall see. Another factor about this fight I find interesting, the only other time when Demetrius Andrade fought away from America, he looked absolutely dreadful, and that was when he fought Jack Kolkai in Germany. Now, Jack Kolkai is a good fighter, in my opinion. I think he's underrated, but, you know, the way people talk about Andrade, if he was that good, he should have decisively beaten Jack Kolkai, and he never did that. Was that because he didn't have home comforts, and he was uncomfortable fighting away from home? Who knows? If that was the case, maybe this fight with Zach Parker could be interesting. Maybe a potential banana skin. Who knows? But I hope this fight happens, you know. Andrade needs to change things up and try different things. Why not come to the UK? I'm sure the atmosphere will be pretty good on fight night. And, you know, fighting away from home is a good way to garner new fans, more support, etc. Get your name out there and essentially put you in a position to get bigger fights in the future. So This fight does make sense for Andrade, I can't lie. I do have, some level of intrigue for this fight. I would still rather see the Janibek fight, who would have been Andrade's mandatory at middleweight. But, you know, this fight is potentially interesting. I would definitely watch it, no doubt about it. And yeah, Frank Warren has won the purse bid for this fight, and more than likely, well, very likely, this fight will be in the UK. And one more thing, obviously Eddie Hearn recently lost that purse bid to Frank Warren for White versus Fury. He's now lost this purse bid for Andrade and Zach Parker. You know, where are Eddie's billions? And I don't mean this just to get on Eddie Hearn, but, you know, a few years ago we was hearing from Eddie that, you know, the middleweight division was exclusively on DAZN, that if you're Jamal Charlo, you have no other route but DAZN, and if you want these fights, you have to sign with us. You know, Eddie was talking that talk like he was going to take over America, but in the last few years, that hasn't transpired. When he first went there, he was throwing around a lot of money, paying fighters who don't sell tickets and who are not popular millions of dollars. Guys like Tevin Farmer, Devin Haney, Demetrius Andrade, etc., paying exorbitant money for guys who are not going to return it. They're not going to drive subscriptions, and they don't sell tickets. I do wonder now whether DAZN have given Eddie Hearn a haircut, and what I mean by that, they're not as willing to back him as they previously were when Eddie first came on board with DAZN, because I look at those first couple of years with Eddie Hearn on DAZN, and I wonder what the DAZN execs think about it, whether they are happy with what Eddie Hearn has provided on DAZN. Now, Eddie has provided some really good fights on DAZN in America, you know, especially at flyweight, super flyweight, etc. He's got Canelo Alvarez for a couple of fights. He's definitely delivered some big fights, but has he really delivered subscription-driving fights on a regular basis? No. But what he has done, and what DAZN have done, is overpay non-ticket sellers, non-entities like Devin Haney, Tevin Farmer, Demetrius Andrade. They've paid these guys silly sums of money with no return. Obviously, in recent days, we heard news that DAZN were given a cash injection by their principal shareholder, and I can't imagine that the DAZN execs are going to want to waste that money like they've blown through the previous money they've had, because the spending was out of control, and what they got for it wasn't all that much, quite frankly. So I wonder whether Eddie's been told, listen, we need to be a lot more smart in this market and really pay these guys what they're worth, because some of the purses that were being paid in the first couple of years on DAZN were nothing short of extortionate, you know. But, you know, I don't blame the fighters. They need to take what they can get, but yeah, there wasn't much of a plan, in my opinion, and I think they're paying for that now. They're going to try and adjust their game plan on how to crack boxing. But yeah, share your thoughts below. What do you make of Andrade versus Parker? Is it a fight you're looking forward to? Share your thoughts below. Peace.